Shane Dawson has had a tumultuous few months, as scandal has completely stopped his career in its tracks. And while all the drama was going down, we heard opinions from all sides of the internet, with people online canceling him, while others stuck by his side. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you about all the influencers that ended up publicly cutting ties with Shane when everything was going down. Hey, what's up everyone, I'm Mackenzie Smith, and today on IO I'm going to be filling you in on the top 5 influencers that cut ties with Shane Dawson. But before I get into it, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and check out our playlist of other top 5s just like this one. Also follow the team on Instagram to stay up to date with us. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this list. Starting off at number 5, we have Cupcake. Shane has been a fan of the rapper Cupcake from the beginning, with her being featured on his podcast, as well as in many of his YouTube videos, and they were much closer about 3 to 5 years ago, with it seeming like they might have distanced the last few years. But after Shane Dawson started to get called out publicly, Cupcake decided to cut ties with Shane for good. This was right around the time that Shane was getting called out for making disturbing gestures to a photo of Willow Smith, while he was singing some of the lyrics from her song Whip My Hair. After this, Jada and Jaden Smith publicly called out Shane on Twitter for the gross act, with Pinkett Smith tweeting that she was quote done with the excuses. After all this is when the straw broke the camel's back that was their relationship, and Cupcake made 2 tweets about the situation. The first said quote, "So when I was 16 I was liking and sneaking out of the house to have encounters with a 34-year-old man, and I told myself all my life, well Liz, you liked him, so it's your fault too. At 23 I finally came to realization that he was wrong, and there's no way a grown man should be." Then continuing in the second tweet, "Shouldn't be lusting over no child at all. It's sick, it's effing sick. You grown men are ridiculous. So I'm gonna say this, Shane Dawson, it was fun making videos with you, but I chose to unfollow you and go my separate ways. You have some growing to do for real." She even spoke about him once again on Instagram Live, saying that she didn't mean harm to Shane when she originally tweeted, but she did need to unfollow him because the situation brought up things from her own past that she doesn't want to be thinking about. So it seems like she's open to forgiving him with time, but right now she doesn't want to be involved in any of the drama, and she needs to see Shane really change. In at number 4, Andrew Sawicki and Garrett Watts. So if you didn't already know, Andrew Sawicki is Shane's cameraman, and is honestly one of the closest people to Shane, as he films his life practically 24/7 when they're making the documentaries. So he's also the person that knows the most about all the drama, other than Shane and Jeffree themselves. But considering that Andrew is Shane's right-hand man, it's a little worrisome for Shane that Andrew hasn't made any sort of statement about Shane. Then there's Garrett Watts, who's a long-time friend of Shane's, and was an integral part of Shane's friend group, as well as in tons of Shane's old videos, before he started focusing on docuseries. And he's another person that has remained really silent through all this. And all of them still follow each other on Instagram, but one person did report that Garrett unfollows Shane on TikTok, although that might not be that telling. The reason that I put these two together on this list though is because they have been interacting with each other a lot on social media, with Andrew even wishing Garrett a happy birthday, but not Shane, even though their birthdays are only about a month apart. And Garrett just uploaded his first YouTube video in 5 months, called A Day in My Life. And although he didn't address anything about the situation in the video, Andrew is the one that filmed the video, and he speaks in the video multiple times. So from my perspective, it seems pretty fishy that these two are all of a sudden really close, posting videos and tweeting each other when they are both former best friends of Shane's, making it seem like it's the both of them against Shane. And although there is a potential that they're silently supporting Shane and just don't want to say it online to avoid backlash, it still looks pretty fishy, especially after both Morgan and Rylan have come out to support Shane. So we might have to wait and see on this one, but it really doesn't look good for Shane. In at number 3, Joey Graceffa. Recently, Joey Graceffa got involved in a scandal when an old clip from a video him and Shane did started to resurface online. And just by the way the two of them look in the video, it's clear the clip is 5 to 10 years old. And although I have no idea what video this is from, it seemed to be some sort of makeup video. And it starts with Joey picking up a very dark foundation shade that he's gonna put on Shane's face, which is obviously way darker than his skin color. And Shane starts making racially insensitive jokes about the fact that he's wearing blackface. But Joey laughs along and still continues to put the makeup on. After this clip started to go viral, people started to call out the both of them. And after weeks of the clip circulating on the internet, Joey decided to address it, posting a long statement to Twitter, saying quote, "I want to address a clip that has recently resurfaced from a 2013 collaboration video for Shane Dawson's channel that was deleted many years ago. The video being circulated was from a makeup challenge where I ignorantly chose an improper shade of foundation, which led to Shane making some racist jokes. Although these jokes made me uncomfortable, I was also complicit, and at that time I was too intimidated to call out these offensive remarks. remarks. Looking back, I'm so disappointed and embarrassed in my own ignorance and cowardice. Then adding that he takes full responsibility and is sorry for not stopping it sooner. But from the way that he phrased it, it seemed like he was throwing Shane under the bus here, saying that Shane is the one that made the remarks and he only laughed, even though he was uncomfortable. And because of the way it was phrased, a lot of people were mad that it seemed like he didn't take full responsibility, but rather deflected the hate onto Shane, who's obviously at the center of controversy right now, and an easy target to throw more hate on. But either way, I think this more than proves that Joey was denouncing Shane for what he did in that video, and considering they don't follow each other on Instagram, it's clear ties have been cut, whether from this or something else that happened before. In at number 2, Katie Turner. Katie Turner is a singer, and Shane has been a fan of hers for years. Shane even gave her a huge boost to her music career by featuring her song Prom Queen in the trailer for the highly anticipated Beautiful World of Jeffree Star's series, with her tweeting out after the release of this series, quote, "Even if I gave Shane both my kidneys, it still wouldn't measure up to how kind he has been. Hi Shane, please get rest now and take care of yourself, it's flu season. Buy a probiotic for good health, you have worked too hard, love you." But this all changed when the huge scandals with Shane started to happen, and during the midst of all the hate towards him, people started to notice that a few of the videos from Shane and Jeffree's makeup series were copyright striked by Sony, meaning the videos were not able to be shown because Sony was claiming that there was some content in the video that belonged to them. And after this, people were speculating who could have possibly claimed the video, as it would have had to have been someone's music. Then eyes turned to Katie, with people asking if she was the one who claimed the video, essentially to take a dig at Shane. As a response to all of this, she made a super shady dig towards Shane, saying in a tweet to all the people thinking I copyright claimed Shane's video. Then included a meme with the words reading, "I respect it, but it ain't me." Obviously saying that she respects whoever took the videos down, but it wasn't her. Then if it wasn't clear that she was cutting ties with Shane in some earlier tweets, she subtweeted about the situation right when Shane was getting exposed, saying that she's upset and didn't know any of this, then asking for people not to associate her with the things that were happening at the time. Obviously speaking about the Shane stuff. So yeah, she's definitely publicly cut ties with Shane now. And finally, number 1, Tati Westbrook. Considering that Tati is a key person in the downfall of Shane's career, it's obvious she's cut ties with him for good. But the reason I included her is because it wasn't always that way, and she was close with Shane and Jeffree before Dramageddon went down. In the beginning, she seemed friendly with Jeffree and Shane. Then she made her explosive Bi Sister video, and Shane and Jeffree were both publicly very supportive of the video. But what we didn't know was behind the scenes, the three were working very closely together, basically in cahoots against James Charles, all teaming up to help each other take down his career for reasons I still don't truly understand to this day. But after James made his No More Lies video that ended up saving his career is when the feud behind the scenes with Jeffree, Shane, and Tati started, with both sides unfollowing each other on everything after the dust settled, but not making any public statements about the status of their relationship. But when Tati didn't make a video on the Jeffree and Shane collection, it became even more clear that the trio were definitely not friends anymore. Then when rumblings started about Shane and Jeffree being very involved in the Bi Sister takedown, people were very curious if Tati would reveal the truth behind the video, although she stayed radio silent for many weeks after, finally coming back to the internet after months of being online to release her explosive video, Breaking My Silence. And as we all know, in the video she completely throws Shane and Jeffree under the bus, saying that the only reason she made the video was because she was completely manipulated by Shane and Jeffree, saying that she was fed poisonous lies by them. And obviously that video was made by Tati to completely ruin Jeffree and Shane, so that was a loud and clear cutting of ties. Alright everyone, that's all for that video. Let me know what you're thinking about all this below. Were any of these people a shock to you? Were any of them not? For me, Andrew and Garrett are a bit of a shock to me because I really used to love the miniseries that Shane would do with Rylan, Morgan, Garrett, and Andrew, and it's really sad to see that their friendship has potentially ended, but obviously people are allowed to have very strong reactions to the stuff that came out against Shane. And before I head out, I'm gonna shout out some comments from my Hailey Bieber being exposed as a bully video. So Chili Man said she's married to Justin Bieber. He's not really known for being the nicest guy. Wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't a nice person. I mean, honestly good take. Even though he has changed, I feel, in a lot of ways. I guess they got together maybe when he was kind of still in a low point. Then Misfit said, Hailey may be a bully, but this TikTok person seems to skirt around the proof. I don't believe her yet. Agreed, she really didn't give me enough proof to think much differently about Hailey. Like the fact she didn't even include a yearbook photo with the two of them is really suspicious. Like how could you not even have that? Then Eli said, I get it, a bully is trash, but y'all are really talking middle school. Honestly, true, like people shouldn't be responsible for what they did in middle school. Like that's so long ago. Yeah, honestly, that really does change things. Alright everyone, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. And again, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our playlist for more juicy videos just like this one. And I'll see you on the next one.